Hey YouTube, it's Jenia. Oh my gosh. It's been a while, but I'm back. I know I'm in my coat and stuff. I'm about to run a couple errands, but I just wanted to make sure I recorded a little intro real quick to tell you guys that I want to share about my pregnancy. You guys, I'm expecting. A lot of people know this already. Some people are anticipating this video, so thank you so much for watching. I am just thinking it would be a good idea to kind of dust off my YouTube channel so that I can talk to people about what's going on in mass. I kind of have a top 5 questions that I frequently do hear from everybody, and I just want to be able to answer them for you guys and have them here so you guys can begin to follow us on this journey. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you so much for being here. If there's questions that I don't answer, then feel free to throw them in the comments. Or send me a message directly or whatever, and I will likely try and answer those questions in the next video. Well, thank you so much for all your congratulations, all the love that everybody's been throwing us. I am so excited to be a mom in a different way. But yeah, I will head out to the store and I'll be back, and we will chat a little more. Morning. Oh my gosh, it has been a number of days since I recorded the intro to this video. I am so sorry. No, I'm not sorry. This is life. Let's see. Okay. We went on vacation for a quick weekend. We left the Friday before my birthday, and returned very mad early on the Monday, after, because my birthday was that Sunday. Came back on the Monday. While we were gone, I started feeling a dull ache, but it wasn't, anything major. And of course, like, we're on vacation, so I'm not pushing myself too hard, but a little bit, you're doing a little more than you could normally do in your regular day at home. And so we got on a plane, we drove around a car, all the kinds of things. I came home. I did my 3 days of work. And by the time I got to my third day, which was that Thursday, my back was done. And I have been slowly just getting worse and worse since then. And so I spent the rest of this past weekend in bed. Ta-da. That is the reason it's taken me so long to get to this point. But I do have questions to answer. So put on your seatbelts. let's do this from here. So yeah, here we go. All right, so I had to double check my list. Question 1, that we have gotten more than I thought we would, because sometimes it seems like such a personal question. And I'm like, people really ask this. Even family members. And I was like, wow, okay. But it makes sense because hubby and I were so low key about the entire, we were really low key about when we were actually like um going to have or if we were even going to have a second child, right? Because you guys know I have my stepdaughter. People have been asking if we wanted to do this or if it was just a heavenly surprise. But actually, we were trying. It was intentional. We were like, hey, it's time, and we went for it. Some people know about my personal menstrual health journey, about my reproductive journey. And if you are curious to know more about that, I am kind of planning to do a video about that, just to talk about what that looked like for me, because obviously, I'm the one that has to carry the baby. And so my physical health and how I'm doing was really important in deciding about timing and what that could look like for us, and all those different kinds of things. And so this was intentional. Yeah, it wasn't just like, oh, we're being married and our here comes the baby. Like, y'all, this is 10 years for us. In September of 25, of 2025, we will have been married for 10 years, which is huge. But I'll talk a little more about that in another question. But yeah, we waited. You're never going to be ready. I talked to one of my close friends about this, but like, you'll never be ready. You just, when both of you align, when both partners are like, hey, this is what we want to do and this is where we're going to go, then, you go for it. But we definitely did not just let it happen. This was very much on purpose. So, yeah, number two. This is a big one too, which makes sense. This one makes more sense to me than number one for sure. But a lot of people asking about the gender. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Most people, I guess, don't realize when you find out technically, but also I think we shared our news so early on, which isn't typical. People don't typically share as early as we shared. But we didn't mind putting it out there. I was comfortable saying like, okay, let's share, let's go for it. But y'all, we're gonna want to know. We definitely are gonna want to know. And we will have a reveal. A lot of people are going to be very much aware of that. It's going to be very interesting. My mom had a very, very interesting idea, and I think we're going to go with it. Oh, y'all, it's going to be crazy. Like, I think everything that happens with this baby and with our family and friends and stuff like that is going to be absolutely bananas. But it's going to be so interesting. Like, I'm so serious. I'm trying not to, I don't want to spoil it. I just want it to be the reveal it is when the time comes for how it's revealed, in your life, depending on a couple different things. But anyway, we do want to know. We're not the family that's like, let's wait until the baby is born and then it comes out and they announce it then. Like, no, we want to know beforehand. I'm very much like thinking about decor and how to set things up here, and all that kind of stuff. I'll talk a little bit more about the nursery later in the video, but yeah, we're gonna want to know. That's just how we feel. We do have our our prayers about which maybe I won't talk about it now. But of course we just want a healthy baby. We know it's gonna be blessed. Um, Either way, we're gonna have a wonderful life with this person. However they come to us. But yes, we want to know. Number three is an easy one. When's my due date? Listen, it is August 30th. And if you know our family, you already know our wedding anniversary is September 5th. It's like a week apart, you guys. How bananas is that? Like, man. And I already told you, we're celebrating 10 years this year. And I don't know what that's gonna look like. We'll probably still try to do something together, him and I, and just to celebrate our marriage and all that. But I will probably be um taking care of myself and trying really hard to be a parent of newborn so on our anniversary. So, oh my goodness, pray for us. Pray, 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 pray. And then here comes a baby. And we're like, wait, the due date. I didn't really think about how it could fall, based on conception timing or whatever. But I mean, once you start trying, you don't know when. But yes, August 30th is my due date. Of course, the baby can come anytime before that, maybe after, whatever. And we're just gonna have to move our big vow renewal anniversary plan type stuff, celebrating with family, thanking all the people that have been supporting our marriage all this time. We're just gonna have to move it down the road, and a celebration is a celebration. I mean, we'll be celebrating something different this year. So yep, been taking bites of breakfast in between, trying to stay healthy here. But all right, number four. Number four is about Jordan, my stepdaughter. Y'all, she is 16. What kind of age gap? But yeah, a lot of people have asked about Jordan. Does she know? How does she, well, I mean, obviously, once everybody knows, of course she knows. Like, how does she feel? What does she think? All these kinds of things. I think it's a little different because she's older. If your first child is 3 or 4 or 5 or, even 10, it can be kind of tough to accept, like, okay, I'm not the baby and I'm not the only one. She's been our only. She is not her mother's only. But in our house, she's been our only child for, the entire 10 years we've been married. I think that even because she's old enough to kind of understand, there can still be some heart, change, and there can still be some feelings around what it really means, for our dynamic with her. And one thing that's important to me, especially because of just um, who she is as a person and who I've come to know her as, it's going to be really important to continue to show her a lot of love and show her that she matters and show her that, of course, she's part of this family. So that's an important thing, but she's just as excited as anybody else is. She's been waiting. That's not even been a question. Like, I feel like there was a time she was asking, and it's like, yeah, no. I mean, with kids, but I can't give it to you as a present. It doesn't work like that. We're just planning on things to happen as they happen. And so yeah, but she was very excited. We surprised her before I think anybody else. We really wanted to make sure she knew because of course, she's a part of our immediate like core family, and she's been there obviously since we got married. She was very, very young, but she's been there since we got married. And just as a family unit, don't mind my husband. Just as a family unit, it's been really important to make sure she's on the same page with us, and she knows what's going on in her house, even if she wasn't, even if she's splitting time between here and her mom. Our dynamic with her and our schedule with her has actually changed recently too, and so I think that makes this a whole nother. Everything's on a whole nother level now. And so it'll be very interesting to see what it's like to have her more full time in our house. And then here comes the baby. We had a lot of big changes as a family all at once. And like I said, I'll talk more toward the end of the video about things like that. But she's excited. She's oh my goodness, we got our big sister t-shirt, and she is always coming to check, how's the baby doing? How's little Peanut doing? And she says, okay, good night to me. And she says, good night to the baby, and she's always asking, what size is it now? And, she's following the journey. And as, her dad's been really helpful in making sure I'm taken care of and all those kinds of things. She's also been really supportive in making sure I'm taken care of and I have what I need. And I feel like this is going to be more of a positive shift in our family dynamic than anything. It's gonna really build us as a family. Um, and of course, there's only so much I can say now before we get to that point, but it is our heart. Of course, we're coming closer. Hubby and I are reading books and everything. And one of the things that's really, really on my mind is just making sure we take care of both of our kids equally, and that they have what they need, right? Because that's the equity here, right? Is that they both have what they need, and not just who gets the most, who gets the most attention, or it's like they're not going to get the same amount of attention, right? A baby needs a different amount of attention. She has a certain level of independence. She's driving, she's taking herself to school and to practices and things like that. So really, she doesn't need us in the way that she used to, but that doesn't mean she doesn't need us at all. And so really want to be intentional about continuing to be there for her and show her that she matters and that she's a part of this family, and making her a part of the process as well. So, okay, number 5. I had to kind of change up the angle a little bit. It was getting hard to hold the camera like I was holding it. But the lighting's a little different and everything. This is not going to be a perfect video. This is just for your information. Oh, don't mind me wearing my earbud. Number 5. What's next for your family? Oh my gosh. Y'all don't understand how much things have changed in the last like year or two for us. But also the big thing is like stuff we didn't expect to change is different. But even in doing all the what's next math, even in planning ahead of ourselves and stuff like that, I have still found that things are falling right into place. One of the crazy things is we found out that I was pregnant over New Year's. And we also got a pretty important phone call and made some pretty big decisions about Jordan's schedule and timing and things like that over New Year's. So instead of her going to school full time where her mother lives, she now goes to school full time where we live. And that's huge. We used to see her, um, of course, on a regular schedule. It's not like she doesn't have her room here and she doesn't live here and stuff like that, but it's been dramatically different since January. And so all at once, it was like, here comes the baby and here comes Jordan. The nice part is that she will have some time to get settled with us and we can kind of create a new dynamic with her and create good relationship in a new way with her before the baby comes in August. Um, but one thing I realized is that she's in her junior year now. She'll be a senior for next school year. So beginning from 2025 to 26, she will be a senior. And in that time, so the baby should be born like really close to the beginning of the school year, right? So by the time she's a senior, her senior year will be the first year of this baby's life, essentially, right? By the time she graduates, the baby will be about a year old. And her graduation has been an interesting deadline for us over the years because I am not um I don't want to continue to live in Michigan longer than we really need to. A lot of our reasoning for being here was to be support and to be very present parents for her. But once she graduates and she goes off to do all her big girl things, there's not a lot of reason for us to be physically here. If she ends up physically somewhere else, then I think that's our timing to be able to go. The baby will be at least a year old, which will be nice because we won't be newborn parents anymore. We'll basically be toddler parents. And I think that'll be easier timing to make a move instead of having to try to move with a small baby who's, probably still breastfeeding and all those kinds of things. But yeah, by the time we really need to make some major changes, like moving into a bigger house, because honestly, this space will not accommodate another person, like a whole nother person. No, an infant, a small baby under 1 year, under 12 months, easily, because we're just going to shift around the furniture in our room, bring in the bassinet, bring in, a little baby dresser or whatever to keep clothes and things like that. And the baby will stay in our room with us. And then uh that'll work for, that'll work for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like that won't be a big deal. And then by the time we're ready to move, and as our family grows, literally, of course, um we'll be able to shift all those kinds of things. I still want to make sure Jordan has space and a room to maintain because, over the college years, you still will go back home. And I want her there to be a space for her as she comes home. We still need space for guests. It is highly likely that Nana Jan, hubby's mom, and some and possibly her husband as well, possibly our pops, will come in town and be present with us. I mean, not unfortunately, it will be in this house, but we'll have a little more. We do still have some room for them here, but over the years, it's really going to be important that we have guest space. Um, we have room and opportunity and time for them to be around. And my mother still lives in the area. My parents still live in the area, and so I know that they're going to be very present as we care for our newborn. So that won't be an issue at all. But yeah, like everything's about to change, you guys. Everything's about to change. Like I said, we're going to end up moving whenever Jordan graduates, but we'll have a high school graduate and a newborn, like a tiny baby all at once. I'm saying tiny, but a little kid, like under the age of 5. And so it'll be very, very interesting. We're hoping to still celebrate our 10-year. We wanted to celebrate with a vow renewal, but of course, trying to plan a huge party that's supposed to happen around the same time that the baby's born is like, no. So we're definitely gonna, push that down the road a little bit, and you'll probably see us early 2026. It'll still be within the 10-year window that we can celebrate with you. But yeah, so from once that baby is born, that is the countdown. The most exciting miles are ahead of us, truly, truly are. And I'm grateful for anybody who's taken the time to watch this video. I'm grateful for people who told us congratulations. I'm grateful for people who have been um, going along with our family journey, you know, since we've been married, since we've been supporting and caring for my stepdaughter. Like, as everything continues to change, I know that, you know, y'all are still going to show up, like, because y'all have been top notch. We've never been hurting for support, you know, never, never. Subscribe to my channel so it's easier to keep up with these videos if you're not already subscribed. Next video is likely going to be about, I don't know, maybe my journey so far. I am in my second trimester right now. So there's a lot to be able to share when it comes to, I've had 2 doctor's appointments so far. I do want to do a video on my like menstrual and reproductive health. I think that's going to be helpful for some women. Um, I am a geriatric pregnancy, y'all, because I will be over 35 when this baby is born. I'm 36 now. My birthday just passed, you guys. Happy birthday to me. Again, thanks for watching this video that I did from bed. This is the honest like perspective. This video is not, I'm not trying to win any awards or monetize my channel. This is literally just for the information of the people who care about us and want to know what's going on, to keep you guys updated in the best way possible. Pray for my back. If you're a praying person, please pray for my back through the rest of the. Don't forget how important you are. Can I do the heart? The new Gen X heart.